Hey guys, Dr. Ken Nordberg again. I got another important tip to talk to you about that you may not have thought about before. And because of that, this can be really valuable. It's about does. It's mainly about this idea. When you're hunting older bucks, never alarm a doe. there's several good reasons for that. Here in this tip I discuss on the last pages of my new hunting book. Here's a doe looking around. Not alarmed, no tail up, ears forward, checking things out. And here's another one looking right at you. How about that one? There's a doe looking right at you. What do you do in a case like that? You don't want to alarm that doe. Well, I'll tell you why in a minute. So here's another great picture. This is one of our new tents, all lit up in the dark with northern lights above it. How about that? Something we see in Minnesota every now and then. But anyway, here's a doe looking right at you. Now, why don't you want to alarm a doe? Well, when I think about this, I'm reminded of a buck I shot in 1990, last day of the season. And it was with a doe. And using a call, they came up and stood right in front of me about 20 yards away. And it was one of the easiest harvests of a buck I've ever had. I dropped him in his tracks right out in front of me. I was sitting on my stool on the ground in the middle of a bunch of young evergreens. They never noticed me, and that was so simple. Well, when they finally got up there, I went over to field dress this buck. That doe just ran off just about 50 yards and turned around and started snorting and snorting and snorting at me. Oh, that was an upset doe. And then I was alone that day, and I had a long way to drag that deer to camp. It followed me and snorted and snorted and snorted. It stayed behind me for a good half mile. And I was getting kind of disgusted about it. I finally turned around and looked at the doe and said, "That's what you get for fooling around looking at other bucks. Now go away and find yourself another buck to breed with." And it did. It disappeared when I talked to her. Well, during the next 5 years, that darn doe never forgot me. It caught me so many ways. Every time I went through the woods in the dark, like I do all the time, to get to a stand site over in that square mile where that doe lived. And there were a lot of other does there. In a square mile, there's 4 to 5 other mature does, 2.5 years of age older, and probably 2 or 3 yearling does as well, which all will breed when they're in estrus. There's a bunch of does on. But I can't believe this was one of those other does. It always sounded the same, and it was always the same every year. One of the stand sites I always liked to go to back there was on the side of a big steep hill overlooking a number of deer trails that came together down in a valley. Now that was no small valley. I mean, the farthest part was about 600 yards away. But every time I tried to get there by taking a shortcut over the crest of that hill, against the starlit sky, it would start snoring. And like it did the first time, snort, 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 and echoing up and down that valley. And of course, that killed that valley for hunting success that morning, or probably all day. And that doe was just getting revenge on me, it seemed like, every time. So finally we decided, well, the only thing to do here is I gotta move a section of my approach trail going to a string of stand sites on that side of that high hill. So I don't go over the top anymore. We'll go around what we call a saddle area, come around from the backside, depending on wind directions, of course. Well, my son Ken got to be really good at that. And, well, I did. I knew what I was doing too. But during the next 5 years, we took a big buck. Several of them had to be done with breeding buck, big, weighing nearly 300 pounds, and sometimes a little over, in that area. Bucks to put on the wall. And they're on the wall now. 5 of them. All attracted to that, all in that area because that doe was there. Now, you know, while breeding is important, and we generally hunt while breeding is important, the doe doesn't have to be on heat for that buck to show up there every now and then. Between being with does in heat, he's with every doe in heat about 24 to 26 hours, because that's the only period it'd be in heat. That's how long it is. It'd be with, if he's between does, and you know, breeding goes on for about 2 weeks, and here we got, what did I say, maybe 7 to 8 does living in this valley. Probably on any one day there, only one will be on heat, and some days there won't be any, because that 2 week period, there's more does than for every day during that period in that area. So there'd be days with no doe there. So whenever that's happening, that buck is going to be looking for does in heat, of course. You know, this is the big time of the year for him. This is what he was born for doing that. And whereas he can smell a doe in heat, the pheromone released through the urine of a doe in heat, up to 2 miles away. Oh, I smell you way over there. If he's with a doe in heat now, he won't bother to go over there. He's going to stay with this doe as long as she's in heat. And if that doe is kind of worried about being bred because of that, after a while they'll come looking for the buck. And that doe can smell that buck now, smelling the high heaven of musk, the kind of stuff he got all over his ground scrapes and his scalp musk on antler rubs. He thinks he's way over there. She can smell him a mile or 2 away as well, so she'll go looking for him. Contrary to the belief that does be on ground scrapes to tell bucks when they're on estrus. That's kind of silly. Well, anyway, so they can find each other, but only from downwind. So there can be lots of does in this square mile, and he can't smell. So he's going to be visiting them all day long. When breeding's going on, he's going to be visiting other does. So even if that doe is not in estrus, well, he'll visit, he'll come close. Well, there's one feeding area, they're going to go around the woods and sniff, oh, she's not in heat, I'll go look at the next one. But he's going to be showing up. So, anyway, if you play your cards right, by not just alarming any of those does in the area you're hunting during the day, you got a whole bunch, up to 7 to 8 of them out there doing your work for you to attract that buck. Keep it moving during that period, and perhaps walk unsuspectedly past your stand site, improve your odds. Now, that's important. You know, when you're buck hunting, you can't get them every day. No way. Maybe just once a season, but that's enough for everybody to think you're the doggonest buck hunter there ever was. And so, to keep your odds high all the time, you don't want to be chasing those does out of this area. You want them all to be there all the time. You don't want to alarm them so much they're going to raise their tail and bound away. You know, each one of those does, when they are in estrus, is filled with the most perfect and fresh doe and estrus urine containing pheromone than anything you can buy in a store. They're much better than anything you can buy in a store. Boy, when the buck smells that, that's a living doe over there that's producing that odor. And if there's no human odors coming from, well, that's one I gotta go see. So, no matter what, when you're sitting in a stand, here comes a doe and it's feeding, and maybe have a pond within there feeding there right there, be darn careful. And when they look right at you, don't even blink an eye. Just sit there. You don't want that doe to get excited because it's probably start snorting and boom. You may be done with that for a half day, you may be done with it all that day, that area, or the rest of the hunting season because of that. You know, if you want to see more big bucks, don't alarm does. Let them do what they do every day without interference. And you should always be sitting, whether on the ground or in a tree, where you got darn good cover so that they can't see the silhouette of your body, whether it's very still, which would otherwise be silhouetted, big dark thing up in the tree, and they know now that's a human up there. You don't want that to happen. You want that really good cover, what covers any movements you might like getting your doe, your bow up, or maybe your rifle up. You don't. You got to have that covered. And then if you're well covered, the most you're going to see is your head. And if you got a camel head net on while you're there, and you keep your movements really slow. And what I always do, if I have a deer looking at, I never look right at the deer. And you see some humans too, you can sit in the room and stare at the side of a person's face way over there, and pretty soon they're going to turn and look right at you. And whitetails do that all the time. So I don't even like to look straight at them when I got a doe out here. I'll kind of watch them for my peripheral vision. But the point is, if you want to see more big bucks, don't alarm does. And now you know all the reasons why. So that's going to affect the way you hunt. So think about that. If you're going to quit alarming does, how are you going to make that stop happening? Boy, is that going to affect your hunting success. So there you go. Well, there you go, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Think about this one. You're going to be thanking me someday. Lots of you. And before you go, be sure to subscribe in my YouTube channel. Poke that red button down below. And also, poke that little thumbs up button for me too, will you? Okay, thanks. Thank you a lot. See you again soon. Be sure to visit my website. Here's the link. Here you'll find links to my blog posts, my Twitter account, my YouTube account, my Amazon store with links to my ebooks, my son's eBay store, a money saver if you're ordering from Canada or other countries, my website bookstore, and much more.